Yeah, look, it's prayer water cocoa. You can jump up on it now, you don't need the pogo. Yeah, we diving off, bitch, we about to splash. All up in the deep end, but we ain't up on a boat though. We gon' stir it up some similar to cake batter. Headed to the top, no skipping steps and no ladder. These questions ain't some shit up on the street. Can't just walk around and put the faith inside myself. Got to work, stop the doubt. Trying to change the world, you better change yourself first. Living my life to the fullest, no round trip ticket on that hearse. I'm a star, so I burst. Entrepreneur, I got merch. Put your back against the wall and I can show you what you worth. We go in, we get deep. TLC the way we creep. Need a mop, need a top, cause where we spilling all the tea. This that prayer water, cocoa, keep me right in it weather. On my way to the promised land, can we get that together? Yeah, look, it's prayer water, cocoa. You can jump up on it now, you don't need the photo. Yeah, we diving out, we about to splash. All up in the deep end, but we ain't up on the boat though. We gon' stir it up some similar to cake now.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It go down, baby. Yeah, we up in this thing like a thong with no home train. It's your boy Jalord on Prayer, Water, and Cocoa Butter, baby, episode 4. Salutations. Hope y'all doing splendid. I am. It's good to be here with you on Prayer, Water, and Cocoa Butter. I just want to start out. I want to appreciate all the listeners. I want to appreciate all the listeners, all the people who, told me they've been enjoying the show and, checking in with your boy, getting right. That's all we doing, over here on Prayer, Water, and Cocoa Butter. That's all we doing. Shout out to all the listeners. Like I said, you can go to Anchor. Anchor is the podcast site where we actually host the show. You can leave me a voice message on the homepage if there is like a question that you have about an episode, if you have about a guest, a topic, a question that you have that you kind of want me to address on the show, let me know. Holla at your boy. You can donate to the show if you choose to, but I appreciate y'all tuning in with your boy, man. I had a solid week, no complaints. Like they say, nobody want to hear him anyway. That's what they say. But I had a quality week. I don't know about y'all. I do a little Bible study with my family. Once the quarantine and COVID kind of hit, my dad, my God, had suggested that like, hey, we do like a family Bible study every weekend. And obviously with COVID, you cannot lie, like I would per typical and, say, hey, I was doing something or, make up some type of excuse. I really can't do that. So we've been doing like Bible study every weekend and it's cool. I don't mind, I don't mind reading the scripture, getting a good word every now and again, but it's just wild because my family, they just don't know how to act. And it's like, it'll make you turn away from the Lord, to be perfectly honest with you, because I try to keep Bible study like under an hour. Like, we do this thing where we host it and stuff. I try to keep it like under an hour, boom. You know what I'm saying? Get that good thing. And you know what I'm saying? We own by that business. We own by that business. Clippers come on at 6. For like my dad, and I know what he be doing too. And that's why it bothers me. Like, I know he intentionally does things to try to prolong the Bible study. What are you doing? You're selfish. Like we'll read the verse. He'll be like, oh, okay. Does anybody? Let's go ahead and read it in the New Living Translation. And let's go ahead and read it in the King James version. Like, listen, ain't nobody trying to do all that. And I understand. Some would say, Jalord, your behavior doesn't appear to be, of the Lord. Well, that's you. Like it says, let he who is without sin throw the first bone. And I believe that's either Philippians 16 or that's Demetrius 9. I actually used to be Sunday school class president. Shout out to Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church out there in Houston, Texas, 3rd Ward, right next to Jackie Yates High School, and French's Chicken. Phenomenal. That's some good damn chicken. I'm not going to cap. We damn sure don't do that. But I was Sunday school class president for a couple of years. And the way I was able to become Sunday school class president was because I knew how to talk to the kids. I knew how to, this was like when I was like 14. And we had a problem at Wheeler with getting the donuts. I don't know how y'all used to do it at, y'all church, if you went to church or Sunday school, donuts and stuff. We used to get donuts. Shipley's, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. And the donuts wasn't getting there on time. Well, I ran a campaign that promised that the donuts would be out on time. I eventually got impeached little situation I'd had with a young lady behind one of the temporary buildings. If you're not supposed to be doing physical things on church grounds, then y'all need to have a sign. That's all I'm saying. But that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and try to cap with you and tell you that that didn't hurt to be stripped of your presidency, but God has a reason. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Listen, ain't no time to play around. You know how we do around about this thing. Let's get into the word. For what you heard, we give it to you straight. No chaser with no curves. Let's get into the word. This is my fault. Let's get into the word. It go down. I say, let's get into the word. But what you heard, we give it to you straight. No chaser with no curves. Let's get into the word. Let's get into the word. Turn out. I was watching your boy this weekend, Tom Brady, the GOAT. This nigga's 67 years old. No, he's actually 43, going to his 10th Super Bowl with an opportunity to win his 7th championship after beating the Packers, the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship this weekend. And it just really got me to thinking just about longevity, man, and greatness. Like, we've seen examples. LeBron, as my favorite basketball player. I'm a Bron sexual. It's cool. I mean, that's what they say. It's cool. I don't have a problem saying that. If you got something to say, leave a voice message. But I just admire it so much. And I don't like Tom Brady. Eating pistachio ice cream and married to Giselle. And he's not my cup of tea, but I have to respect greatness, man. This guy was literally drafted last in his class. I believe it was 6th round, like number 199. Never started in college. I don't believe he ever started a game in college, and has become arguably the GOAT, most definitely one of the greatest players of all time. And, we've all heard the stories, like I've heard just about like Tom Brady's diet. Like, he drinks up to like 25 glasses of water a day. 80% of his diet consists of vegetables. It's insane because not only would not most of us not do this, the majority of other millionaire athletes are not doing this to maintain their edge. And the thing that I like about Tom Brady puts it out there. What his regimen consists of, what he does. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know what it is that I do. But that's why it doesn't matter. It's about the want, it's about the passion, the emotion behind things, the want to do something. You could be as talented as you want to be. If you're not passionate about it, if you don't have that hunger, you ain't going nowhere. We see it every day. Talented people every single day, talented players, talented athletes who just for whatever reason couldn't seem to get through. Damn, his nigga could jump through the roof and sing at the same time. How did he not make it? And I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not extenuating circumstances, situational, job, management, health. There's all of that. But somehow this guy has been able to overcome. Like this man did retire Giselle. He did retire his wife. I don't know the last time that Giselle walked a catwalk. I couldn't even tell you. Talking about this guy, it fell off. But it's up to you, and I appreciate Tom Brady. You don't ever let nobody tell you you're too old to do something. This struck a personal chord with me. I don't care. I don't care if he wins or not. As long as they don't roll him out of the game in a wheelchair, I'm cool. But I know the distractions that just come about from being a regular goddamn person. Like, I was planning on going to the library, but these farmers market with these strippers who are in need of school supplies. This seems like it may be a better time. It seems like it may be a better time. That is the key to the people who are successful. Those are the people who are able to stave off pleasure. That's what it requires to be successful. That's self-discipline. To say, I'm not going out. I'm not doing it when everybody else is doing it. Eating the pistachio ice cream and not drinking any alcohol. Look, I don't play football. I host prayer water and cocoa butter. So don't judge me. We should all hope to be like Tom Brady. I mean, it's the same thing as people like Joe Biden. This was his 3rd time, I believe, running for president after being vice president for 8 years. You got to keep pushing. You can't let nobody tell you no. If it's something in your heart, if it's something that you truly want to do, something you feel that you're destined for, man, listen, fuck the naysayers and go get it. That's what I say, man. Listen, I'm gonna get it on my diet trying. Prayer water and cocoa butter. That's how we get down. um, I had an opportunity to tune in, and I thought these are the things where you got to go with your first mind. I thought it may potentially be a mistake, and sure enough, it was. I had an opportunity to tune in to the Keyshia Cole versus Ashanti Versuz. First of all, it immediately for me got off to a bad start. I think this time I tried to click on it, and it was like you had to pay. Or maybe it was like, I think they said it was free when you clicked on Instagram, but it was like you had to put in your credit card information. You done lost your goddamn mind. If you think I'm about to put in my credit card information you done lost your mind. I went to YouTube, free stream, and I got my watch on. Please. Not giving Swiss Beats my damn credit card number. But it's Keyshia Cole, Ashanti. I didn't really know what to expect. For me, I just feel like I see and I feel Keyshia Cole stress before she like even opened up her mouth. Like, first of all, they was both late. I want to be clear on that. Black people, we got to do better. We got to do better. This ain't like this the club and y'all waiting on a perform. Like this is a virtual performance. Why are you late? Get the build up and get it going maybe a little bit. But Keyshia Cole was super late. She was dumb late. Like over an hour. And from what I understand, she had an interview later where she was talking about it. She was like, she was having problems. The camera looked blurry and she wasn't going to go out there like that. Look, here's the deal, Keyshia Cole. And this is the problem. See, this is the situation why some people are in certain situations and other people, they just don't seem to be there. See, Ashanti has been able to brand herself differently. Ashanti is one of the few people who are still from her era, who are still pushing. I mean, she's been in modeling campaigns, done commercials, Ciroc, been in music videos, still touring. Ashanti ain't, I mean, I'm sure she put out like some new music, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But her attitude, her professionalism, her look, the way she goes about her business. And Keyshia Cole has a cult following. She's got a diehard audience, which is why they were able to do, something like this versus in the first place. I'd asked a friend of mine, I said, listen, if I had told you before this versus that somebody was going to come on the versus, be late and have an attitude, who would you have said it was? He just looked at me. Well, who's in it again, Jalor? Shut up. You know who it is, Keyshia Cole. And I hate to say that because I love Keyshia Cole. Keyshia Cole got them bangers. She got them bangers. She has that music that make you feel something, that real. But even Swiss Beats, it ain't just me, even Swiss Beats. Him and Timbaland actually run the verses. They was all up in the comments. Swiss Beats was like, man, this is like beyond disrespectful. I mean, damn. People are gonna continue to put you in a certain type of category if you don't change the way that you do business. Not only do you have to show up and show out and perform and be at the top of your level with your craft, man, you got to handle the other stuff that you don't always like to do. And it's crazy a lot of times as black women a lot of times unfairly get characterized as having an attitude or some this and that when they're just being themselves, just being black women. But for somebody like a Keyshia Cole, I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. That's all I'm gonna say. You had one chance to kind of get this right. So I come out in the outfit, titties pressed up, all the titties couldn't breathe. Titties was screaming for help. Let me free. Don't make no goddamn sense. Hey, I don't know if y'all heard that new banger that came out this weekend. Go like, Yellowbone is what he want. Hey, Yellowbone is what he wants. Ooh. It ain't your boy Jalor. We just over here talking on prayer water and cocoa butter. That's all. DaniLeigh. R&B singer, rapper, artist, young lady who is actually currently dating DaBaby, not Lil Baby, not to be confused with Lil Baby. Dropped this song this past week. It was called Yellowbone. She actually dropped a snippet of the song on her Instagram, and she got trashed. They dragged her ass. It was crazy because it kind of got me to thinking, like DaniLeigh is actually, I kind of thought she was like black or light-skinned black, but she's actually Dominican. from Miami, Florida. You know, I saw like a picture of her parents. They're like extremely, very fair skinned. She's Dominican. And a lot of people, I think primarily women, had a problem, Black women and Black people in general had a problem with her doing this song, Yellowbone, talking about Yellowbone is what he wants. It kind of became a controversy. And I thought it was interesting because I understand the people and the women, you know, the Black people who are like upset about it. You know, like I said, I thought she was Black initially. So I get that. And I think rightfully so. But I think it's, you know, it's a deeper issue than just DaniLeigh. I mean, she was ignorant. She got lost in the sauce. She got caught up. She got caught up. And that's what I said. Like, she dating the baby. She's in this very high profile relationship. And you'd be a fool. And that's the thing. People were mad at her. Stop. If you think for a second, like, the baby himself didn't influence the song or wasn't in the studio with her or didn't approve or say, yeah, those lyrics go hard or kind of something like that, you crazy. You crazy. We spoke about this. We touched on this last episode. And I don't know the baby. You know, I know he has a child by a Black woman who's like, you know, brown skin, dark skin. But this is who he's in a relationship right now. But you crazy if you think that he didn't know about it before it came out. I just think it's funny how people get so upset because I think some of the upset with her comes from the fact that people are, I don't know. I feel like people are kind of jealous. You're in this relationship. How dare she? What the hell? I mean, the true matter of the situation was that the song just wasn't a good song. It just, the snippet that I heard, it just wasn't jamming. Like that bitch wasn't fire. Like if it would have been fire, I mean, who knows? Like people might have been bopping to it. But when I listen to a lot of Black male artists, I've heard so many songs, like one of the number one songs out right now with A Boogie, you know, in hip hop, it's called Hello, with an artist by the name of A Boogie, and, you know, rest in peace to an artist by the name of Pop Smoke. But the hook is like, I like my bitches yellow, light skin, hello. You know what I'm saying? It's like artists do this all the time, all the time. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm from down south. Like that was like that was how people used to rap. I didn't came down, broke them boys off, got a yellow bone, got goals in my mouth. Like, and I never condone that. Like, I that's just never been my flavor. Like I said, man, I keep it diverse. I've always loved all types of women, especially like as far as like Black women. You kidding me? My first girlfriend was as dark as she wanted to be. My God, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Girl, cut these lights on. Quit playing up in there. Cut these lights on and quit playing. You know? Man, loved it. I can't relate. I can't relate. I mean, I love dark-skinned women. I mean, those features are just so beautiful, so unique to me. I can't relate. But if we're going to sit here and act like this isn't a problem with people beside, and I think that's what it was. You know, I think that's what it was. And to be fair, that's fair. I get that. You know, we don't like as Black people speaking on Black issues who aren't really part of the community. And I get that. That's all right. But we as Black people, we got to really look at ourselves. Colorism is a huge issue still today in our society. You know, Black people, we joke all the time. Man, you acting light skinned, you acting dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Light skin jokes. Oh man, I got me a bad red bone. I got me a bad yellow bone. We got to look at ourselves. Now, if you just like the woman for liking the woman, then that's cool. If you like the dude for liking the dude, that's cool. You know better than somebody that's a racist, in my opinion, for having that type of ignorant ass slave mentality. That mentality, as far as colorism, comes from slavery. When they would typically, when slave masters would rape slaves and the kids would come out mixed mulatto, you know, and a lot of these kids obviously would get special privileges, or light-skinned slaves, period, would get better privileges. They'd be house slaves, house niggas and field niggas. You had the dark-skinned guys out, you know, the dark-skinned men and women out there working the fields. So to keep and continue this mentality that people try to get to oppress us and make us hate each other, we got to do better, because we all in this shit together. Because I promise you this, here's the thing about it that's so funny. When you Black and somebody else see you of a different race, you stop by a police officer, they don't give a fuck. They don't say, oh God, he's light-skinned, let him go, Charles. No, they treat your Black ass the same way. It starts with us, baby. It starts with us. That's all we doing. We just claiming responsibility on prayer water and cocoa butter. Just keeping it trill, as they say down south. Just keeping it trill. You know, but we allow things like that to separate us. We allow people to do things like that to separate us just as individuals. So we can't focus on what we truly need to be focused on. There's so much more important issues than he's light skinned or something like that. That shit is crazy to me. But as far as women are concerned, if she bad, she bad. I don't give a fuck what color you are, what your skin look like. If anything, to be honest, I like darker skinned women. So maybe I need to check myself. Maybe I need to check myself. Maybe I need to check myself. I am. I'm gonna give Rebecca a call tonight. I'm gonna give Rebecca a call this evening. But listen, man, look, we love you over here, man. It's prayer water and cocoa butter, baby. Look, follow, subscribe, tell somebody, tune somebody into the show, man. We just over here spreading the word. We just over here spreading the word, man, getting to it, getting down. We ain't acting a fool and we ain't gonna clown. You know what it is. It's your boy, Jaloid, man. Follow us online. Follow us on the gram, man, at Prayer Water and Cocoa Butter on Instagram, at Jaloid JMJ. That's at JELLOYD JMJ, man, on Instagram. Follow your boy, man. Tune in. We getting it in. We getting it on. We got a phenomenal interview for you. I had an opportunity to sit down and speak with actress Andrea Laing. She's a fool. She caught up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? But we dug deep. You know what it is for me, prayer water and cocoa butter, but we found out what it is for her, man. Stay tuned. Turn up. It go down. I'm ready to go ahead and get this thing kicking off like a young football. It's another episode of Prayer, Water, and Cocoa Butter. And we're blessed. Blessed indeed to be here with Andrea Laing today. Andrea, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Jaloid, for having me. It's interesting to be on your show, to be equals and friends in real life, considering how we first started out. You were under my careful vision, and I had to show you the ropes. And apparently, I guess I wasn't the nicest to you, but my version of like just being playful came across as rude.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely came across as rude, Andrew, when you physically put your hands on somebody when you're supposed to be training them. So yeah, that definitely came across as rude. I would have to say. Yes, me and Andrea go back. Yeah, she was my trainer at a restaurant that we actually worked at. She's always been bossy and been a boss, so it made sense then and it made sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were terrible. You were terrible to me. You put me through the ringer. I was so scared.
Kind. Oh.
I was so scared.
No, you weren't.
Oh my God. You were on me. You was on me like white on rice. You was on me like white on rice. Spencer, get your ass over here. You tell me what's in the salmon? What's in the cedar plank salmon? How many calories are in the cedar plank salmon? We're excited to be here with Andrea. Andrea is a film, television, and theater actor. As you can tell by the hoodie, of Jamaican descent. She's known for her work on Richard Jewell in 2019, directed and produced by Clint Eastwood, Greenleaf, Brockmire, The Resident, Teen Wolf. Laing is an avid, all this on your bio, and I figured this was important for the listeners. It said that, no, please, if I could continue. It said that Laing is an avid harmonica player, and enjoys traveling. Andrea, we're happy to have you. We appreciate you for being here on Prayer, Water, and Cocoa Butter. Yeah, no doubt. As you very well know, we got to start off with the harmonica.
Are you gonna make me?
No, absolutely. Please. Do you have your harmonica handy?
I mean, it's in the other room, but I can grab it.
No. What do you mean, of course? Were you about to say, of course?
Oh,
you actually keep your harmonica like close to you?
No, I'm not a psychopath, but I can go and grab it.
Jesus, please. Oh my God. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Oh my God. How do you keep the cats off of you? How do you keep the cats off of you? Andrea, we're gonna dig in. We're gonna go ahead and dive in. Like Greg Louganis. Where did you grow up?
I'm from a small town called High Point, North Carolina.
Okay.
So both parents are both of my parents are Jamaican, which makes me first generation. So they came to the States because they wanted to, give their kids the American dream.
Hmm.
They decided to stop in High Point, North Carolina. Nothing against other High Point, North Carolinians, but
But
it's just it's a very interesting place to land, especially when other Jamaicans are going to like New York or Florida or even England.
right, right, right.
So that part was kind of a little disheartening.
You weren't a fan of High
Well,
Point
it just,
necessarily.
it's a very small like southern town,
Got you.
and so they put us in the private school, the private Catholic school system, going and singing "Father, I adore you," and then coming home to like the bobsled team, and they're like making all types of aki and catfish and animals with their heads still attached with the eyeballs, and I'm just like, what what's happening. So no one in my family is in the industry except for me, which is kind of strange because getting into it, typically like your grandparent is like a famous like singer or actor.
Right.
Someone would give you kind of the direction to decide to get into this industry. But for me,
Right.
I didn't have that. It was just kind of like something that piqued my interest. I stayed in High Point, North Carolina. I went to the university there. I studied broadcast journalism, and I double minored
Okay.
in criminal justice and sociology, which I've done nothing with any of that. I knew one person um, from my university that lived in Atlanta. I knew Atlanta, Georgia was not terribly far from High Point, North Carolina.
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to get into the industry.
Right.
So I knew one person here. I moved here. I got into TV production. I don't remember how. I think I made friends with someone maybe, and they were looking for a PA. And one of the first PA jobs that I did was, "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" I also worked Tori and Dean, Tori Spelling. I don't know if you remember her, Aaron Spelling's daughter. She had a show
Okay.
um, with her husband. I'm not sure if they're still together, but they had a show, and I worked production on that. Voice, The Sing Off, America's Best Dance Crew. I worked just like a bunch of shows, not really knowing what I was doing, and the pay was terrible, but I was happy,
So
So
you knew
that's
you
like
wanted to be in the industry, but you were behind the scenes at the time.
I was behind the scenes at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you know, like, okay, hey, I'm trying to make the change from like being from behind the camera to in front of the camera doing more?
I saw what I was working on, and I saw that I could also do it. I
Yeah.
was like, man, they're having a blast. Let me try this out. I could
Yes.
for sure do something like that. Just kind of fell into place. And when I say it fell into place, it took a while. It was all worth it. There's not one singular thing. It was just this is what I want, and nothing's gonna get in my way of me getting the thing that I want.
Like, what's been some of the most, I guess, enjoyable projects that you've had an opportunity to like work on so far?
My God. WTF. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Please,
Great.
please do.
Yeah. Fuck, 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 fuck. It was my first one. It was with George Pierre, casting director, amazing human being, just a fantastic guy all around.
Okay.
It was the role. It's season 2, episode 8. It's called Raving, and I play a club promoter. And I'm kind of bossy and sassy. Me,
Got
I'm
you.
like
Right,
so.
right. At heart. Right.
So it worked. It worked naturally.
Exactly. This is like the first kind of like for real gig, would you say?
Oh, for sure. That was my first network job, for
Got you.
sure.
What do you feel it took like to even get to that point? What do you feel it even took to get there?
For sure, for sure. Confidence. Man, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable as fuck, not
Hmm.
really knowing what the outcome is, being told no 95% of the time. That's a lot of people don't understand about getting in the industry. They see how glamorous and how fun it is, but they don't
Right.
understand. And that's the other thing too. It's like I never want to have too much money
Mm,
because it's like people are like, oh, they're so in a rush to get these things, but do you really understand what that looks like when life hands it to you? When
mm.
you finally get the thing that you want, you better be ready to have a place for it. Because a lot of people, they come to fame way too fast. They get a lot of money way too fast. They fucking overdose on drugs. You
Yeah,
don't know how to, like, just
it's
like a
true.
lot of NFL players, like they get a lot of money and then you're
Right,
bankrupt. You're
right.
spending all your money, like you're not planning for it. It's one thing to manifest it, but you need to also have a plan for it. You
Right.
can't ask for it and then get it, and then what?
Very true.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready for the blessings that you've been working for. I mean, this has taken me years in the making, Joy. As long as you've
Yeah.
known me, like once you get over the hump of realizing that, like have an audition, you do the
Yes.
best that you can do, you leave it behind you. A lot of people
Right.
carry with them, and you can't. And at the end of the day, it's not really up to you, anyways, because a lot of times their final decision is based on your fucking eye color. It could
Right.
be that simple.
Something.
You
Right.
fucking killed it, but your eye color wasn't right.
Something you have no control over.
Yeah, that's almost everything in life, right? You do your
Exactly.
best, you show up, and then you let it go.
Like, what and why would be the worst, I guess, situation that you've had on set so far, and why?
There
Mm.
was one job in particular that I worked, and I cannot think of his name, but I worked on this like short film, and it was deferred payment. And at the time, I didn't know what deferred payment really meant. And it means
Got
like do the job, and you'll eventually make money from it when it
right.
gets put out there. But it was never A, put out there, B, we were there for long hours, C, my tablet was stolen day one.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just one too many things, and this guy was just fucking unprofessional. But I haven't had a terrible experience with a union job. Just because union tends to be a little bit more professional. There's money behind it, and they're backed by the union, which means like don't fuck around.
What do you feel is the best way to go about getting an agent?
Okay, so you want to do your homework for who you are. What agency am I interested in?
Mm-hmm.
Check and see who they have in their roster, if you can see the roster. Is there anyone like you? Would
Yes.
it be pointless for you to join because there's others like you? You'd have to be
Mm-hmm.
competing with other people for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that you still like this agency and they still have people just like you.
Right.
Okay, how are you different from these other people?
Mm.
Like, what can you bring to what can you bring to this that's gonna allow me when I go to submit you for things to separate you from them? Things are changing, and like the world of COVID right now, specifically, everything's done like more virtual or online because there's not a lot of in person. Not that there is a lot of in person in general, because they don't want you walking up to their place of business. Like that's just weird. Period.
Right.
Another thing is referral.
Mm-hmm.
If someone
Yes.
is already with the agency, they can refer you to them, which is also always nice because I know a lot of agencies do not take random people unless it's a
Right.
referral.
Right.
And another thing is making yourself being seen. My agent that I'm with now, who I was not with at the time, came to my shows. I was doing live shows, whether that's stand up, whether that's improv, whether that's sketch comedy, a
Getting
musical
somebody
show.
to come see you actually performing.
Yeah, because that gives them firsthand look of like what you are capable of doing. And no one wants a stalker. That's in all forms of life. Do your best work constantly. Do your homework also. How are you staying busy enough for them to want you?
Would you say it's tougher to obtain success in the industry as a black female? How much do you attribute that to adding to or detracting from your success as far as being an actress?
It just varies, really.
Situational?
Yeah, it's situational just because like certain roles will always be an opportunity for you. Like just because a part of history, I've had several auditions for period pieces.
Got you.
Just because as an African American female in history has it, there's going to be certain opportunities for me that a Caucasian female won't have the opportunity for. So
Right.
it really just varies. Also, there's going to be opportunities that I will miss because I speak proper, or I can't carry an accent. There's
Mhm.
so just it really is just situational. But I can't worry myself about missed opportunities because
Hmm.
what's for me is for me, period. And trust
Yeah.
me, it took me a while to realize that.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, and like I said, I had no one before me. I had people that helped me. They like told me where to take classes and where to get headshots and all this stuff. And I'm very thankful for those people, but no one is there telling you like, oh, let it go. B, you're gonna get no a lot.
Right.
C, like all those things. That's stuff that I had to
That
learn.
matters.
Yeah. And if you're not ready to do that, then you'll probably be ready to give up on it.
What is your mindset then with like certain roles? Like for you, because like people have to make some hard choices, I guess sometimes. Like, is it for you like, hey, listen, this price point, this is a good role that I know I could do, or are there roles that I guess maybe you've had to turn down, even though they've maybe been like a good offer, or something that you've had to maybe think twice about?
So there is one job that I won't say in detail what it is,
Okay.
but it's a show with a very, very well-known director.
Okay.
It's going to be on HBO Max,
Hmm.
and the role it wasn't a name, it was more like Officer One. And not that anything's wrong with that, because if Officer One feeds my soul and it speaks to me, then I'm like, I'm all about it. That's great. I don't care. But this role had like a few lines, but the director was huge,
Okay.
and I always wanted to work with them. I book it. I decided to go through with it. She's like, listen, this director is huge. You never know what might happen. I get to set. My lines had went from this to like 2 pages.
Oh wow.
And then not
Yeah.
only that, but my character itself introduces the storyline of this show. Yeah, so it went from like this small level of like, oh no, I shouldn't do it,
Right.
to just being open to it.
You're a tough chick. You seem like you could possibly physically put hands on somebody if need be.
I'll put my
Have
paw on someone.
a little scrappy reference. I love it. Andrea, have you ever dealt with any foolery as far as like the Me Too movement? Do you feel like you ever dealt with anything like that? It gets complex, and I'm interested as far as like your opinion about that.
No, no one's tried me. And like, I also don't have like full C cups or D cups.
Yeah, all right, fair,
I'm
fair.
sure that they're just like, who's that young Guatemalan boy?
Right.
Yeah. I've never been in that situation where I've had to deal with that, but I
Well,
can
that's a
only,
good thing.
yeah, but it's so sad and tragic to hear that it does exist, because it's just like, it's disgusting and no one should ever be in a position like that. There was, however, I took a class with this gentleman here in Atlanta whose name I won't mention, and he was fairly abusive to the students.
Mm.
Like, I remember distinctly in class because he was trying to get us to emote to cry, and she had to do a scene from Halle Berry. It was,
Monsters Ball.
yep.
Okay.
She had to do a scene from Monsters Ball, and he needed to get her to cry. So he announced in front of the classroom how her uncle had raped her and how her father was not present in her life anymore. And I was just like,
This was true. He just put her business out there like that.
oh, it
That's
was so.
crazy.
That's what's weird. You know, people, all these people are watching like cult movies and shows.
Right.
The shit is, when I tell you, not only did he announce it and she did the scene and she killed the scene,
Oh, I'm sure.
he had followers, and he had followers because he delivered results, but at the expense.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. What
Disgusting.
some people feel is necessary.
And he was also sleeping with like his students.
Oh, he was turning up.
Yeah.
ATL. ATL. How do you like, Andrea, how do you like living in Atlanta? Have you ever thought about going somewhere else?
I've never been anywhere like this for terribly long. What I'm involved in is finally here, you know?
Yes.
I'm not terribly far from my family, which is also important. So it's just too many things that make sense compared to a lot of places like New York or LA. Like, it would be a good time or a good place to just at least establish like a base,
Yeah.
to have some property here. Because I have an agent in England, I have an agent in Australia. If I need to go and do work, I'll just go and come back. Just because
Absolutely.
Atlanta is just really, it's just a good place to be, especially for the industry. I have some friends out in New York and LA who it's harder for them to even like book a job,
Absolutely.
For
No,
sure.
that makes a lot of sense. Prayer water and cocoa butter. That's the name of the podcast. That's my thing. That's what I'd be saying. What is it for you? What do you think is kind of the things that have kind of kept you from falling off the deep end and not going crazy out here, and remaining resilient as far as pursuing your craft as an actress? What is it for you?
So the biggest thing that sticks out for me is family. Uh,
Okay.
People that have made it even possible for me to be here.
Yeah.
Granted, my parents weren't in the industry, but they still worked very hard to give, their kids the best that they could. And that for me is like, as a kid, it's like you understand it, but as an adult, you really get it. And the sacrifice that was made, because I'll tell you what, I have two kids of my own, and it's hard,
Andrea,
very hard. I work hard to provide for them. I get them like the
you
top notch food that they want.
you're being disrespectful. Okay, you're being disrespectful. You don't have any children. Okay, your children are running around butt naked. She's
You're,
talking about her cats, y'all.
I
She's
am.
talking about her damn cats.
And you know
You're
what?
ridiculous. You're
When birth,
ridiculous. Being from Baton Rouge, my mom literally, I remember my mom would see a cat. She would take whatever water she had, whatever hose she had at the time, spray it, say a prayer, throw anointing oil at that motherfucker. I don't play with cats. I don't play. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
seriously, definitely, it's
I
where I
respect.
came from. I come from humble. I come from a humble background, and one of my friends, Lydia, who like my best friend in college, she kind of laid the foundation for me. Also,
Okay.
she passed. She was
Sorry to
killed.
hear that.
Yeah, she was killed by a drunk driver about maybe 6 years ago,
Okay.
and that was very hard for me because she was the initial person that kind of also brought that out
Mm,
from me. We had like a morning show, and like back then, she was just like more on it. She was more focused than I was. I was just kind
okay.
of like, whatever. You wanted to show, fine, I'll show up and show
Hmm.
up late. She was just
Hmm.
always the friend that was on it. She was unconditional. She was focused, and it just makes me like look at how driven she was and how amazing of a human being she was.
Yeah,
And I never forget that for the life of me.
it really inspired you.
Yeah, it's just God, because she was just on it and I was a piece of shit back then. So
Hmm.
it just
Hmm.
makes me realize like I want to be more like Lids.
I mean, what do you want to be known for? I know there's probably a role out there that you've thought about. Oh my goodness, this is the perfect role and stuff like that. But what do you like really want to be known for? Like when it's all said and done.
I don't know if there's a particular role that I want to be known for. I think it's more so just she does good work and she also gives back. I was reading an article of Barry Jenkins recently because I had a chance to
Yeah.
work, and the article mentioned how it was something along the lines of it's your duty to climb the ladder and then hand it back to others.
Okay. Absolutely.
And I
I
think that
agree.
there's not competition. If
Yes.
we all support each other, then we can all come up together. So it's not I'm jealous of this person. And like I said before, everyone's different. So why would you even be jealous of the thing that was never even like you to begin
Mm.
with? I mean, this industry has definitely given me challenging things because there's times where I look back and I'm like, man, why couldn't I just been like normal and like been funny, you
Yeah.
know? But no, it's just like, NCIS, I had to cry all day long. Like,
Right. How did you do that? How do you can you cry easily, or does it take a little work for you? How did you do that?
I used a thing called substitution.
Okay.
And basically, you either have a piece of something that belonged to a person, the smell of the person from like their clothes. It could be a picture, music. So I I had to think about actually one of my cats that had passed,
Oh,
and um, that was
sorry.
really. It's okay. I know that you don't really mean it. Really fun.
You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that.
Here's Lloyd. Oh, sorry.
I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry that your cat is still alive. Yeah, I had internalized that. I kept the music on my phone, so I pull it out and just think about it. So you have to put yourself in this dark place. And on top of that, my brother passes. So it's not hard to think about that too. Plus, we're in a morgue. So they have like all these fake dead bodies. All like if you physically put yourself in the mindset of like you are in this world where all these people are, then it's easy to like internalize that.
What's next? What are you looking forward to? I mean, this is crazy. It's wild as fuck out here
Mhm.
with this COVID. You know, it's impacted it's impacted the industry. What do you see as far as like just kind of, moving forward? What are you focused on? What are you looking forward to? What are you thinking as far as what's your mindset about 2021?
It's hard to say. I do know one thing for sure. We're going to have to move forward. That's
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
What that looks like is, I think the industry is now, and not just the industry, but kind of the world. I think that we're
Life.
now finding out how we have to move forward.
Yes.
So I think that I would not be surprised if implementing masks is like an ongoing thing.
Well, your boy Biden already said. He said his first 100 days, mask.
Yeah.
He wants a mask policy.
Just safer. It just, I think with productions moving forward, also, I think that they're going to move forward as far as like the mask wearing, the temperature taking, the, not hibernation, but having to quarantine for X amount of time. I don't know. I mean, honestly, Lloyd, even during COVID, I've had a lot of opportunities, like
Okay.
a lot.
Well, and I was gonna say, maybe hey, some people's experience has been different.
What's weird is that so everything happened in March, right? And even on the set of NCIS, they were just like on
On
it.
point. I bet. I bet.
In your town, minutes
Spray them
for
sandwiches down with bleach. Now, do it again.
yeah. But yeah, they've been super careful and cautious and stuff like that. But yeah, opportunities have been great. I just did a national commercial for Sam Adams like two
Okay,
weeks
cool.
ago.
That's
That
awesome. Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, we're seeing how it's working now. We're seeing how it doesn't work now. So it's just
Right.
like take the parts that work, and move forward. Because it's like people pumped a lot of money into these projects. Are they just going to like throw it away, or are we going to
Yeah.
find to make it work, make it happen? And people that are like, uses downtime to chill, uses downtime, whatever it means for
Right.
you, use it
That's what
because
I said. Yeah,
you need to be
for sure.
ready when things ramp back up. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
You got to be ready. So
Okay. No, I'm with that. I'm with that. Where can people find you? Where can they look? Are you big on social media? Do you do that? Is there a lot of selfies on your page?
you
What's
don't
your
want to
game?
see what I'll show you one right now. It's gonna
Oh,
make you.
you got. Oh my goodness! Please don't show me nothing in there because you
Nope,
got some.
I am because you're my friend. I have
Oh
to.
my god! What is this? Stop. See. No, is there a dislike button? It's, this is prayer, water, and cocoa
Yeah,
butter.
you're
Oh
just.
my god! I'm not showing my mama this episode. I'm not showing my mama this episode.
It's on Instagram. I'm like 7 years old, but
Oh, we'll put it. We'll put it up. We'll put it up for the people.
okay.
We'll make sure to put it up for the people.
Okay.
We'll put it up for all the stalkers. We'll put it up for all the stalkers on there. I did want to ask you that.
Yeah.
Is that do you think being an actress does anything as far as like a dating towards your dating life? Do you feel it? Hey, it makes it difficult, or it doesn't? Do you feel it influences it at all? If you was just a simple country Jamaican girl out here just living life in Atlanta, would it be any different?
No, I mean, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think it impacts it?
No.
Okay. Okay. You said that confidently, like, oh, no,
I mean,
no,
this
I
is
don't.
this is the lifestyle I've chosen. It's either gonna work for some people or it's not.
Okay. Well, so would you say then they're the ones that it hasn't made a difference for them, the people that you've kind of spoken to? Because you said that like, hey, it's either going to work for them or it's not. So
Um. Yeah.
the
Yeah. I think.
choices that you've made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Because I feel like you kind of have to, like, if you really want to be with somebody or make it happen, you're going to make it happen,
Hmm.
period.
Hmm.
But I also do kind of feel like when it gets to a certain standpoint, like somebody just may not be fucking with the fact that you're on set for 12, 13, 14 hours a day. Like,
Oh,
no,
then they
no, no.
then bye.
Okay. That,
Yeah.
oh, you. Mm,
Period.
okay.
Like what are my options? Like, should I? No, this is what it is. I've
Yeah.
worked damn hard to get here.
Yes.
You know, like this is years in the making.
I feel you.
And I don't have the patience to go back to school. Not that I don't have the
Oh,
patience. I physically like I it's hard for me to sit down for a while.
right.
Like
We appreciate you here on Prayer Water and Cocoa Butter. We appreciate you. No, that makes sense though. No, you have to be like that, right? You have
Mhm.
to be like that. Like, listen, it's either going to work or it's not. Like, not being rude, but I think I've even to be fair, I think the times, because there have definitely been times where I've made the decision towards the situationship or
Mm,
whatever the hell I thought was going on,
right.
and sacrifice the job to a certain extent, or not like blew it off, but just maybe wasn't as sharp, or just kind of didn't do put that ahead of what I should have been doing. And it always cost me in the end, Andrea.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
always it was always the wrong decision.
You know you guys are a little bit different anyways.
We're idiots. Guys are stupid. We're dumb
You
as
are.
fuck. We're dumb
Yeah.
as fuck. I
Yeah.
admit that readily.
You're idiots. Good
We-
job.
I admit that readily.
You'll pursue
That's
a
ridiculous.
headless woman if you think that it'll get you laid. Like she
Absolutely.
physically will not have a head and you'll still want to have sex with her.
And exactly. Look at that neck, nigga. Shit, I am on. Ooh. Look at that. God
Exactly.
damn. God damn.
Yeah.
She is thick around the neck area. Yeah, it's true. It's sad. We need to do a better job. No, you're right. But I appreciate that and I respect it. And people are like, man, why do actors only date like other actors? It doesn't make any. Why is that? And it's like sometimes, because unfortunately, those are some of the only people, as far as like entertainers or artists, that can kind of understand where the fuck it is that you're coming from.
Literally. Yeah.
Somebody that kind of has like that type of mindset or that schedule.
Hmm.
Okay, ain't fucking with it. Fuck you. God damn. No, listen, we appreciate you. We're gonna make sure to put up your socials. Get some people out here who respect what it is that you're doing. We'll send them your in your DMs.
Oh God.
I respect you, Andrea. You do you, girl. I respect you. Thanks for sitting down with us and helping a Christian breaking the bottle over here on Prayer Water and Cocoa Butter. You're a friend of the show. Even though you beat me mercilessly when you were training me.
Where you are today, you're welcome.
I still, still right, exactly.
But
Much success, much health, and everything. Thanks for dropping in on us.
thank you so much for having me. Always as usual, so good to see you.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Love you.
Pleasure.